Two-time Super Bowl champs from the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the NFC champions, the New Orleans Saints. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, excited for this one. I mean, Charles, the Steelers back in the Super Bowl once again, their 9th appearance overall, second only to the Patriots' 11. But if the Steelers win this one, then they'd be on top of the all-time win standings, as it would be their 7th title.
What a franchise. Come on, join me for a minute, okay? Come back to the 1970s with me. Back to the steel curtain defense. Back to Terry Bradshaw at quarterback. Throwing to Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. Franco Harris running the football with Rocky Blyer. That team was something, all right? And that started the path to where we are right here, right now. This team's pretty good, too. And they want their own history. What an accomplishment this would be to win a 7th Super Bowl title for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Meanwhile, for the New Orleans Saints, look, everybody is well aware they've been snake-bitten the last 2 postseasons. First, it was the Minneapolis Miracle with Stephon Diggs, and then everybody remembers the no-call last season on Nickel Roby-Coleman CD.
So don't you have to acknowledge that this team has some serious fortitude? 3 straight years, finally get to the Super Bowl. They put everything else behind them now. Other teams might have crumbled. They stuck together. Now they have a chance to win the 2nd Lombardi Trophy in team history. I just wonder, will they take a chance like they did the last time when they beat the Colts? Remember that onside kick to start the second half? Will they take those kind of chances in this game? Wouldn't be surprised if they did.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Drew Brees and the Saints finally getting that second shot in a Super Bowl. Remember, he was the MVP in Super Bowl 44, but some thought that the window was closing after devastating playoff losses at Minnesota 2 years ago and home against the Rams last year. But instead, here he is, the NFL's all-time leading passer, Drew Brees, looking for his 2nd Super Bowl title. Brees now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw is Brees. And he's going to go down again. Bud Dupree, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Well, someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
3rd and long now after the sack of Brees, and the Saints up against it here. Shotgun now for Brees. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Bud Dupree, what a start to this ball game. Still in the first quarter, and he now has 3 sacks, on pace for double digits.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a 3rd-round pick back in 2018 out of Oklahoma State. It's Mason Rudolph. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. First carry for James Conner. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
On second down, it's Connor, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. From the gun, it's Breeze. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree, what a start to this ball game. Still in the first quarter, and he now has 3 sacks, on pace for double digits.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points.
He's got him in, complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw on second down. Rudolph finds his running back, James Conner. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rudolph. That's going to be caught. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield. They're understanding the coverages.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl as his guys have now moved out in front. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So second and inches after that first down completion, went just shy of the marker. Now Breeze finding Kamara, and he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Connor on 1st down, able to take this one forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Past the 20. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. White now to return. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Rudolph loses the football. It's out. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Back 22, back 22.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep is Carlos Henderson. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Breeze. And the pressure gets to him again. Vince Williams in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight. as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It's been a tremendous season from beginning to end, and now we'll play one half of football.
The never tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
After the sack on first down, Rudolph, and he connects with Vance McDonald. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
That's to his running back, complete.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Going for it, it's Rudolph. And he finds McDonald. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Now Rudolph on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On second down, Connor looking for space.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Rudolph. He finds his man Johnson. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
They are going for it. It's Rudolph. Open man, it's Vanette. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
It's got some fun when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Here's Rudolph. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
To try again after the sack. Rudolph, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
57, Mike 57. He can't hit it.
Third and long, it's Rudolph. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, only thing larger than his name is wingspan as he knocks that one away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. There's Breeze. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Breeze now finds the former Northwestern Wildcat, Austin Carr. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
The Saints on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. To throw, it's Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 41 yards. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Steelers. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is now 24. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And it's caught off the deflection.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Throwing now is Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And that one results in 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Breeze will try again on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly.
And he's going to go down again. Bud Dupree in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back to throw, Rudolph. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. This is caught at the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?"
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Shotgun now for Breeze. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. On the return, it's White. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Yeah, the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. The Steeler first down on a pickup of 11 yards.
Let's go,
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They will throw it here with Rudolph. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Rudolph looking to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Breeze under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
95-56, 95-56. I got one.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Take it at the 37. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Rudolph looking to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the Super Bowl, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the Steel City. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.